Hello everyone, how are you today? Today we are going to continue on with the pattern focus for December, right? We were back in December. Yes, I have to scroll down very far because now it is February and I am still doing the mandalas from December, right? Yes. So we're doing the ones that are candle based for this week. Yes, candles are this week. And I had decided we're going to do candlelight today. That's this one. Remember that I am at the website pattern-collections.com. I do not use an app. There is no app. It's just the website, but I do access it on this phone. So the pattern is based on a Rangoli grid, which is, if you're unfamiliar with that, just type in Rangoli grid. You'll find the information about that. It's basically a dot grid in a circular with a single one in the center and then radiating dots. So there's a row of dots here, a row of dots here, and a row of dots there. You do however you want to do it. I tend to not make the dots. I tend to just make circles and do it that way, but you can totally make the dots. Just doesn't happen to be the way I like to work. So the first step is going to be doing lines like this all the way around. Let's see, how many do we have here? Let's start at the top. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this one's full 12 like a clock. That makes it fairly easy to do because you can just go across, and then divide those in half. And then from those parallel lines, down at this end, we're going to make a little triangle. Okay. And then step 3, then we're going to connect here. So those little pointy bits go like through this membrane, whatever that is. Okay. Then step 4, we're going to make a loop up here. This one's pretty clear that it's a loop right there. Can you see that? And then number 5, we're going to make this sort of tulip shape. So make it like a U and then make like a curvy V. Okay? And that's it. That is the pattern. And then I like how on the sample she did these little lines here. That's pretty cool. I like it. And that's it. I chose a bright pink piece of paper for today because it's a dark and gloomy day and I want to have some brightness and fun in today. I'm going to open my curtain so I get as much light as possible. It's going to rain. It probably has been raining. I don't know. I didn't peek out the window as of late, but I'm going to use my Helix circle maker to make my circles. You can use just a regular compass if you want. Actually, maybe I should do that instead. More people have compasses than circle makers. I am going to use a ruler and find the middle of my page so that I'm starting out centrally located. What the heck happened to my pencil? Ay, ay, ay. Where's my mechanical pencil? There it is. I cleaned up my desk. Worst thing you can do as an artist is clean up your workspace because then you can't find anything, right? You guys got me that? Yeah. As soon as I clean up, I can't find a dang thing. When it's a mess, I know where everything is. When it's clean, I haven't got a clue where I put anything. Okay, that's a little bit carried away. I just wanted to know where the middle was. I don't need all of that. Okay, the middle was right there. So that's the spot where I'm going to put my compass. I want a fairly small inner ring, so I think that where it's set is probably good. And just, for me, it's easier to turn my paper than it is to turn my compass. Don't know about you guys, but I find that the easiest way to do it. And I made a very light circle. You guys really don't need to see it. I need to see it. And then we're going to make a wider one. You know, I'm going to do my outer one first, I think. I do the outer one to about there. And then I'm going to do a middle one somewhere in between those two. About like that. It's not quite half. And if I don't use it as a guide, no big deal. Okay. And then using my ruler, I guess I could have just used these lines still. No, because this might not be I've done this mistake before. If it's not a square, an actual square piece of paper, then putting the X in the middle does not give you a 90-degree angle in the middle. Okay, 4 1/4 by 4. See, if I did that, I wouldn't have an actual 90-degree angle in the middle. So let's do this instead. Then do approximately. Don't have to be perfect. Approximately. Like that and like that. And approximately there and there. Like that. And like that. Close enough. Simple, right? And now I could create dots in each of these intersections and erase the rest, but I don't care. Okay? I just don't care. Because I'm going to erase the whole thing after we're finished anyways. So this is fine. Next, I need to find what drawing size pen I feel like using today. Let's use the little one. Ooh, that's cold. These pens with the metal, actual metal bases, they are, wow, you guys should see the birds on the bird feeder. Can I take a picture of that? I'm going to distract you and distract myself by taking a photo. I will be right back. Oh, no, can't do that. I stuck my hand in the window to take a photo of all the little birds on the bird feeder outside my window, and they all flew away. I disturbed their breakfast. Okay, let me go down here, and we're going to, this is my inner circle, so from here to here, I'm going to draw those little parallel lines on each of these spokes, just like that. So how have you guys been? I know that for you, it has been a whole 2 days since you saw me last. Or if you're not following the CPT ones, then today is Friday and you saw me on Monday doing a regular pattern. For me, it has been well over a month since I've been out here recording. I am so glad that I took the time to record ahead. I recorded, usually I'm like 2 or 3 weeks ahead, and this last month I got really excited about doing the CPT journey, and so in December I recorded most of January, and then and part of February. I am so glad I did that because our household got the COVID and it's been a tough month. I feel much better now, but it was a good 3 weeks with no voice. I had a headache. I had a headache behind my right eye for 3 weeks. That was the worst of my symptoms. I did have a bit of fever. The whole stuffiness and not wanting to eat. It felt like the flu. It felt like the flu, except for the flu that lasted forever, that just wouldn't go away, is what it felt like for me. Now, I know that many people get it way worse, and I am thankful that I was not that sick. I did take 1 full week off from work. I've still got a bit of a hoarseness, so if I have to clear my throat, I apologize. Let's go around here. My husband did the whole thing where he lost his sense of taste and smell for about a week. My brother and sister-in-law and their family got it about Thanksgiving time, and my sister-in-law is still dealing with it. She ended up with what's called long COVID, which means that it just doesn't go away, and she is now finally starting to feel better, but that's been since Thanksgiving, and I am now drawing this on the first day of February. So, 8 weeks, right? All of January, all of December, and a couple of weeks of November. And she's still not back to work. It's caused some cognitive issues where, like, she can't count to 15. She loses her place. And she's fairly young. She's not, a spring chicken, but she would not be classified as elderly by any means. I don't know exactly how old she is, but she's probably in her early 50s, late 40s. I lost my phone turned itself off. I've lost my reference. What am I supposed to do next? Oh yeah, I'm supposed to do those little tulip shapes. Okay, so I need to go, I want to go all the way out to here. My little tulips are going to be big. Like that. So anyways, it's all to say that I am really glad that I didn't get as sick as others, and I'm thankful for that. I'm grateful every day For those of you who have had it and were much sicker, I am so sorry. For those of you who have had it and were less sick, I'm glad to hear that. For those of you who have not had it yet, please take care of yourself. You really don't want it. Honestly, you don't. For those who think it's not real, it is. As a matter of fact, my husband's test came back positive for COVID, and he was the first one sick. And then the day his test came back positive, I started feeling bad, so I went to go get tested, and my test came back negative. And then I took it again. I had a second test from a second facility because, without being tested positive, my employer really didn't want me to take that much time off, but I was sick. So, thankfully, I guess it's a good thing that I had the fever, because we're not allowed to go to work when we have a fever, whether it's COVID or not. So I did have the fever for most of a week. So I stayed at home for most of the week, for one whole week. The second week when I came back to work was very difficult. I didn't have much energy. I had no voice. I had no voice for, it started on a Sunday, following Sunday, almost two weeks, 7, 14, about 16 days I had no voice. So at least, my employer knew that I was sick. You can't fake this kind of thing. You can fake all sorts of stuff. You can't fake the fact that you have no voice. I like this, kind of like the way they did it in the sample, but I'm going to do it slightly different. So anyway, my husband's on the mend. He got it worse than I did, and he's taking longer to recover. But he's finally feeling better. He can eat again. He can smell again. That's awesome. Still, he gets really tired if he does a lot of stuff. So he's still dealing with consequences. Anyway, I just want to let you know that I'm fine. I managed to get through it. But if you can avoid it, please do. You really don't want it. I have the opportunity to get vaccinated. However, I can't be vaccinated until I am completely symptom-free for 14 days. So I've been symptom-free for like 7 or 8 days now. So the end of next week, I can request to have my vaccination, my first one. We'll see how that goes. All the rest of the staff at my work have already had their first vaccine. We are in a frontline situation. I work at a pharmacy, for those of you who don't know. And so we are considered healthcare workers of a sort. We were not very first in line, with the nurses and such, but we're basically on the second tier of people to get vaccinated. There are pharmacy staff people who come in every morning and get the vaccine and go out to vaccinate the local nursing homes. They're on a rotation, and if they come back at the end of the day and they haven't used all their vaccine for the day, then staff is allowed to request a vaccine. So that's awesome. So I know we will be getting it here soon. I just wished I'd had the opportunity to get it before I got sick. Came into our household, people are probably going to ask, came into our household via, we have a very small bubble of people. I am around lots of people every day, so, it could have come from work, but our small bubble included two of our best friends, and they both had it. So it's likely that the husband of that couple brought it home from work, because it turned out that almost everybody at his work had it. So, and he was slightly symptomatic. The wife of that couple was asymptomatic. So they didn't know they were sick. And that's the hard part about this, is they didn't know that they were sick when my husband was around them, or they wouldn't have been around them. They just wouldn't have. She's a nurse, she knows better. So, but she had no symptoms. I'm going to use some of that. I'm going to gild this. First, I'm going to shade. Where's my blending stump? Let's shade, and I'm going to use my dip pen. I played with these the other day. You guys probably already have seen that video, which is good, because I want to put a little gold. But I'm gonna shade first. So anyway, yeah, you can absolutely give it if you don't think you have it. 100%. People keep saying, well, that's not true. Yeah, it is. It is. We've experienced it ourselves. Had an asymptomatic person give it to us, and then I thought it was weird that I tested negative twice. But I started doing some research, and it's possible. I read an article about a woman who was a doctor who tested negative 5 times, but her whole family had it, and she was symptomatic. But she kept testing negative, and my nurse friend says that it's possible that I just never generated enough viral load to show up on a test. And that since my symptoms were relatively mild in comparison to many others, except for that dang headache, you really don't want a headache for 14 days. 2 weeks of a headache was just almost more than I could bear. Right behind my right eye. Oh, that was awful. But anyways, she says it's possible that I just didn't generate enough viral load in my tissue sample to come back as positive. Because unlike like a pregnancy test where either you are or you aren't, the COVID test is like a gradient, a range, and kind of like where I'm coloring now. It's a range, and you either don't have it over here, or you really have it over here, and you kind of have it in the middle here, your viral load, and mine could have been on the lighter side rather than the darker side, and it just didn't show up on the test. But I was clearly symptomatic. So, you know, this is a fun conversation, isn't it? But I thought you guys would want to know. And I wanted to tell you that it's absolutely 100% real. And to let you know if anything ever happened to me physically, seriously, you know, if I don't show up and my videos stop coming, it's because I got really sick. Because there's nobody else who knows how to upload for me or do like any kind of update or anything on my channel. If I'm really sick and I can't video, but I'm well enough to type, I can get into the community tab and I can tell you guys, sorry, I'm really sick, won't be uploading a video. So that would be most likely what's going to happen if I ever just like kind of drop off the face of the earth. But you know, I've followed channels where the people just disappeared and have stopped uploading, and with no saying what happened to them, and I'm concerned that they have fallen ill. And it could just be that they just decided to stop using YouTube and use a different platform, but you wouldn't know because they didn't communicate it with their followers. I finally had one that I was watching come on after about 8 months and say, I've been doing this other thing, and so I'm not doing YouTube anymore. But, you know, that was 8 months later. I feel an obligation to you guys that if I ever stop uploading, to let you know why. That's just the right thing to do. You know? And to let you know that I'm well and happy and just have chosen a different path in my life. You know, sometimes your life path changes unexpectedly. And it's good to let others know what's happened. It's just a polite thing to do. You know, I am far from a perfect person. I have done many things in my life that I regret, that I've done stupid things, I've made mistakes, I've not always used proper judgment. But I hope that I have learned from those things, and one of those things is staying in communication with those I love. Even if we've not seen eye to eye, because it's important to have that communication continue, because you never know, one day you'll want to get back together, and if you haven't kept at least a minimum amount of communication, it's just really hard. Oh, my battery is blinking. So I guess I'm done. This is pretty fun. I need to sign. Where did I do with my pen? Oh dear, where did I do with my pen? It's right there. Okay, so candle flower, sign it. I've put a little gold shimmery. Can you see the gold? I don't know that you can. It's subtle. Anyway, there it is. I'm feeling better. I hope you're feeling fine. Go out and bless somebody today. If they have gotten sick, do something to help them out. Let me tell you, the worst part of the COVID is the exhaustion and the mental, like you do get this brain fog. So be kind to those who have had it, because their brains they might not even know they're having brain fog, but they may not be making the best decisions. And so, just be kind to them. And if they've acted a little weird lately, it's probably that. If there's somebody who's had symptoms. So just let you know that's out there. Anyway, you guys be blessed. I will see you on the next video. The next one we're going to do is going to be CPT number 8. We're going to use some color, and that will be a fun lesson. And I will see you then. My battery is going to go dead any second. Got to turn you off. See you guys later. Bye-bye.